Welcome to the vlog, y'all. Today is March 16th and Robert and I are currently driving to my CT angiogram scan. So we're in downtown Raleigh right now in Moore Square. It is about 5:30, but the CT scan went super fast. I was probably back there for maybe 15 minutes. The scan was over by 4:30 at the absolute latest. They just threw me on the table, threw some IV into me, gave me saline, then they gave me the contrast, and it was like boom, boom, boom. They didn't explain a single thing. Didn't explain where they were positioning me, didn't tell me when I was supposed to breathe. This little prompter told me when I was supposed to breathe. So I'm hoping that just following the prompter was enough. I did follow it extremely closely because I know that when you're getting one of these kind of scans that your breath and how you breathe affects the way the scan looks. So that is my one concern, was that since no one was coaching me and telling me when it was scanning and when it wasn't, I'm just hoping that they got the right breath. That's what I'm hoping, that's what I'm worried about, but we'll see what happens. They said that we'd have the results in about 24 hours. Well, just the raw scans. We're not gonna know the doctor's analysis of it until probably Monday or Tuesday. I would assume at earliest Monday would hear from my doctor about what the scans meant and if I have ischemia or any vascular compression. I'm particularly worried about MALS and ischemia. Those are the things I'm mainly worried about. At least we're gonna see them. Anyway, Robert and I are gonna enjoy our evening in downtown Raleigh. We're gonna get a drink because this has been a very stressful ordeal worrying about this test, and we'll talk to you guys when we get the results. Welcome back to the vlog, y'all. It is March 22nd. It is Wednesday afternoon. I am just home from work and my energy is gonna be low because I'm in an intense amount of pain. I have been for basically this whole month and it's only been getting worse. So it is just a lot to be sitting upright right now after having driven home from work and been at work all day, focusing, gritting my teeth through this pain to get work done, but I'm gonna do my best. So this video probably should be positive given the results of my test, which I'm about to tell you. I'm not feeling very positive right now because of how much pain I'm in. So we're gonna get to there, but we're gonna start with the positive news. So positive news is that my CT angiogram did not show anything. And honestly, that really is positive news. I was really concerned. Not as much about the ischemia. I wasn't as concerned about the mesenteric ischemia, but I was concerned about vascular compressions because I know that there's a certain vascular compression called MALS. I know I'm not going to pronounce it right. I'll look up what the name is. Clearly this is not scripted or anything like that. Like, I'm just talking to you guys from my heart right now. So MALS is median arcuate ligament syndrome, and that particular compression syndrome can cause pain in the same area where I have my pain, and it can cause very intense pain. It can cause nausea, vomiting. It can cause gastroparesis. MALS overlaps with all of my symptoms. And so when they brought up vascular and they brought up compressions and ischemia, I was worried about MALS. But we looked at those arteries, and like, those arteries are not compressed. It doesn't look like. The radiologist also didn't say anything about it, didn't see any vascular compressions. So no vascular compressions and no ischemia anywhere. So we're good there. It's really good that that was negative because that any sort of vascular issue that was shown on the scan, any sort of ischemia, it would have meant that I would have had to get surgery. It was really dangerous, like vascular surgery, and it would have just been really bad. So it's really good that I don't have MALS, don't have ischemia. That's very positive. So further positives, focusing on the positives further, the Linzess at the increased dose is helping. The Linzess, the 145 milligrams of Linzess, is helping my intestines immensely. I have been able to have a bowel movement almost every day. Sometimes it's every other day, but it's almost every day, which is fantastic because when I was on the 70 milligrams of Linzess, especially the last week that I was on it, which I didn't make a vlog about, but the last week that I was on it, I did not have a bowel movement that whole week. I was so in pain, so bloated. I was just so miserable. I was desperate to get on the 145 by the time that I got on it. It's really great to not have to take any additional laxatives. It's really great to not have to panic about, oh my gosh, it's been 5 days and I haven't pooped. Like, that is such a load off of my mind, a load off of my intestines, I would say. Like, it's just really great to not have to worry about
my bowels right now because I have enough to worry about. It's really great to know that my bowels are just going to move with the Linzess and I don't have to worry about it. So that's glorious. I have also not had any Linzess side effects this time around. I've maybe had 1 or 2 loose stools, and I've been on it for about 2.5 weeks now. I'll have to look at my calendar, but because I started the 145 on March 5th, I was gonna wait a whole week after my appointment to start it, but I couldn't because I was like desperate to get on it. So I started it March 5th, the 145, and then I've been on it for 2.5 weeks, and I've only had a couple of loose bowel movements, but nothing bad at all. It's mostly been solid, fairly substantial. I'm really happy with it. So I foresee myself staying on this dose of Linzess until a doctor tells me not to. I don't see myself getting off Linzess ever again because my bowels, clearly we've exhausted everything else, every natural thing, everything. So staying on Linzess, that's really positive. The other positive is that my nausea has been better this month overall. In February, I was taking Zofran so much. I was struggling so much with nausea in February. And this month, my nausea has been not as bad. And honestly, I would probably attribute that to increasing the Desipramine from 10 milligrams to 25 milligrams. That's the only thing that I can think of that's changed that I could attribute it to. Potentially having more bowel movements could also be helping with the nausea because there's not as much stuff building up in my system. So the lower nausea could be due to the Linzess working better and or the increased Desipramine. So I'm extremely happy with that outcome. I've literally only had to take Zofran 1 time this whole month, and it's the 22nd. So I'm really happy about that. Now, getting into why I feel so low energy, feel so awful, not feeling super positive right now. My abdominal pain this month has been worse than it has ever been. This has been my absolute worst month of pain, and it's especially frustrating to be saying that because we just found out that I don't have any vascular compressions. We just found out that I have no ischemia, and we just increased my Desipramine, which is supposed to help with my pain. We just increased that by more than double because I went from 10 milligrams to 25 milligrams of Desipramine, and my pain is excruciating. And for the first couple weeks of March, because my bowels, like once I got on the higher dose of Linzess, for the first, I don't even want to say couple of weeks, because when I look at my calorie tracker and my food tracker that I've been keeping since November of 2022, when I look at that, I see a lot of fluctuations, bad days and good days with eating. But so I don't want to say that I had full weeks where I was able to eat more normal, but when initially the nausea went down and initially the intestines were moving more, I was eating more than I had most days in February. So I had quite a few days where I was eating a fairly good dinner every night, or maybe if it was a weekend, because I still don't eat solid food at work because it does throw me into so much pain. Not it could, it always does throw me into so much pain that it's hard for me to focus, and that I'm really frustrated by that because I'm at work trying to get stuff done. So I don't ever eat solid food at work on weekdays. So it's really an evening thing, but on weekends, some weekends this month, I've been able to have meals that felt more normal, like solid food throughout the day, and that was great because my nausea was less. But the thing that never went away was the pain. So I was having pain. Like I'm a lot of record keeping. I keep a lot of records, and I will log in my calendar every day that I had severe pain for most of the day. And when I look at March, I have severe pain written March 1st, March 2nd. Then I have it written, then there was a couple of days, where I didn't write it. And then I have it written March 7th, March 8th, March 10th. So like, I guess the second week of March, like the first full week of March, there were some better times in there. Days when I was able to eat more solid food. But then if you look at last week in my calendar, the 12th, severe pain, 13th, severe pain, 14th, severe pain, 15th, severe pain, 16th, severe pain, 17th, severe pain, nausea and vomiting, 18th, pain all day, 19th, pain and nausea, 20th, severe pain and nausea, 21st, which was yesterday, pain, nausea and vomiting, and then today I've mostly just had severe pain. So that's a week and a half straight of having severe pain all day. Because in February, and I said this to my doctor, and I said this in the vlogs, I felt like I would have fluctuations in the pain. Like I would have notable milder days of pain throughout the week, even if the pain never went away. But now I just I'm rambling so badly, and I know this is not making that much sense, and that's part of why I've been putting off filming this, because I'm just in so much pain that it's so hard to talk. It hurts to talk. It hurts to be sitting here right now. Everything that I consume causes me pain that is so intense that I have to grit my teeth and focus to do anything. I can't even drink water without having pain, so it's just a lot right now. I'm probably going to have to go to a fully liquid diet, just because I'm not even sure that liquids help, just because the pain is so intense 24/7 at this point. But liquids seem like the easiest thing that I can force myself to eat, but it's very hard to force myself to do water because it hurts so much and like there's no nutrition in it. I'm staying hydrated, but it's just like I have to mentally force myself to do it. And I have had a few vomiting episodes this month. Again, the vomiting's not as bad as it was in February, so that's good. But I've had a few vomiting episodes this month that were literally just water. The pain was just so bad, and all I'd had was water, and I was just projectile, like vomiting water. Then the Friday, the day that we got my results from the scan, like we got the results from the scan the next day, and Friday I did liquids all day, and then I came home from work and I had water or maybe it was lemonade. It was water with like some lemonade in it or something. So like there was a little bit of something that wasn't plain water, and I just threw up all of it. I just threw up until it was all gone. Like I just couldn't hold it. And I'm not throwing up as much as I was in February. I'm not as nauseous as I was in February, and I'm going to contribute that to the Desipramine. It's not helping with the pain at all. The pain is the worst it's ever been, but at least it's helping with the nausea and vomiting a little bit. But I'm still having vomiting episodes at times. And a lot of times it's the pain that's causing the vomiting episodes, because I'm just in so much pain that it's just the pressure just builds, and it's just like it has to get out. My weight has been okay. It hasn't been going down until this week, and now it's just dropping. So I'm less than 109. I weighed myself this morning. I was 107, which sucks. I hate seeing myself this thin. I hate it. It feels like I'm just going back in time to when I had my eating disorder, and it's very frustrating. I really feel conflicted complaining about my care and my doctors, because I've heard from so many people, especially you guys that watch my channel, so many worse experiences with doctors. Doctors giving up on you, doctors, not taking weight loss and pain seriously. And I know that it's not an uncommon experience at all. And I've been given, appointments, I've been given tests, and I'm getting moved to a new doctor. But at the same time, it's hard not to be frustrated with certain aspects of my care. Like, for example, and this is something that one of you guys brought up to me, I have not had any blood work done by my gastroenterology team. Not once, you guys. Not once have I had blood work done. Yes, I could have asked for it, but I feel like I shouldn't have to ask for it. And in those appointments, I'm using all that time to say, these are my symptoms. This is what's going on. I've recorded it. Like, I want them to understand what's going on. And then I use all my time where I could ask for things, like trying them to relieve my symptoms and believe me. And it's just mind-boggling to me that, I've lost more than 20 pounds since June, and they know that I'm not eating balanced. They know that I'm suffering and probably not getting proper nutrition a lot of days, and they haven't done any blood work. No blood work. I haven't had any blood work done by Duke GI. The last blood work that I had done by Duke was when I went to the hospital in December of 2021. So that really irritates me. I'm definitely going to ask the new doctor when I see them at the very end of April. So it's more than a month away, but it's not as far away as it used to feel. I'm going to ask the new doctor for blood work for sure, just to see where things are. I'm really frustrated that no one has done blood work. And when I go back and I read my chart notes, there is no mention of motility. Like, there is in terms of the intestines, but I honestly am starting to think that when my gastroenterologist told me in September that she thought it could be gastroparesis, she probably just said that to shut me up, honestly, about it, because there's nothing in my chart notes at all about it. And I get that that's probably the case because there's no test that proved it, but still, like, they put other theories in the notes, but not that one. Like, the ischemia theory was in the notes way before we did the test, and, you know, it's just frustrating. And then there's a lot of stuff in the notes about my eating disorder and my mental health, and it's very frustrating to see that. And when I posted that last video, I didn't even want to edit it or watch it, and I think Robert ended up editing it because just the doctor just sounds patronizing. And maybe you guys didn't hear it in the last appointment, but it just felt so patronizing to me because it just felt like she wasn't hearing how severe things were. And then she wants me to see a nutritionist, which she specifically wrote in my chart notes was because of my eating disorder. It's just really hard when you have a history of an eating disorder for doctors to take you seriously, because I just really am looking forward. Like, my current gastroenterologist has essentially washed her hands of me at this point. They don't intend to follow up. Not her, not her PAs. They're done with me. And I think maybe the ischemia thing was their last ditch theory, like their last possibility. Like, they're out of ideas. They are. They've given me the tricyclic antidepressant, you know, they've given me the Linzess, they've given me the tests that they can do. So they're done with me. And I'm just hoping this new doctor has some new ideas. As far as I'm concerned, we have no answers. We have no legitimate answers. We have the one thing that we have definitely diagnosed, which is the intestinal dysmotility. We have that. But that's all that we have after over a year or more. Like, it's just crazy to still be a total medical mystery and to be in this much pain and to be suffering this bad. It's so frustrating, and there's nothing I can do. There's not a single thing that I can do to feel better from this pain, from any of it. There's not a single thing that I can do. I have to just sit here and be in pain every single day. And I know a lot of you guys deal with this too. I see it in my comments. I love, like, you guys reaching out and saying I make you feel less alone. You guys make me feel less alone. But at the same time, your comments break my heart because there's more of us out here that are going through this ridiculousness, and doctors don't know what to do with us, and we're in pain every single day. Last night, I cried all night. All evening I was home, I was just crying because I knew that I was going to have to wake up today and be in pain the whole day again. From the moment I took a sip of water. And the pain at this point, it doesn't wax and wane throughout the day the way it used to. It's just at a high level all day. From the moment I sip of water, it's that high level for the rest of the day. There's no waxing and waning. It's just up. It's just up there. Like, it's so painful. And we have no answers. It's so hard to not have answers. All we have is even the gastroparesis theory that I have. And it honestly, if I have a negative gastric emptying scan, despite the fact that those can be very inaccurate because it's a moment in time, you can give all that I've given before, argument-wise, whatever. Despite all that, it was negative, okay? So we don't know if I have gastroparesis. We don't know what is causing this pain. We do not know. And it's so frustrating to be begging for help for you guys know, if you've watched all my timeline videos, that I've been having pain and GI issues since 2018, and I've seen multiple doctors about it. I've seen multiple doctors about it. I've been begging for help since 2018, and here we are in 2023, and we have no answer, nothing. All we have is that I have intestinal dysmotility, which I knew I was constipated. We knew that. I didn't know how bad it was. I didn't know that it was like a degenerative disease. I didn't know that. But we don't even know, we know anecdotally that it's degenerative because of how I've declined over time, but we don't have a medical reason for why it's degenerative. We do not know. Even if the gastric emptying scan would have shown gastroparesis, as far as I'm concerned, that's not really an answer because we don't know why my stomach and my intestines are not functioning. We do not know. And if the CT had shown something, it would have been bad, but it would have been a root cause kind of answer, like a root cause answer. We are not even close to a root cause answer. Even if we do find out that I have gastroparesis, when I get another scan, if I ever get another freaking scan, because no one suggested it. And the fact that I got so much worse and no one suggested a repeat scan really makes me think that they don't think that it could be a possibility. Like, all the comments in my notes are like, tests look great, tests look so promising, but patient's complaining. And it's like, well, no shit, I'm complaining because I don't know what to do and my body's wasting away and I'm in pain 24/7 and I can't eat solid food 99% of the time, or like 90% of the time, but I need to do a what I eat in a week video because I haven't done one of those in forever. It's so frustrating to be begging for help, and I don't feel like they take me seriously. And I just want a fresh start with this new doctor at the end of April. But we really have no answers because all the tests are negative now. Even the SIBO test is negative. And I think that's part of what has rocked me emotionally is there was this little part of me that was like, you know what, Linnea, maybe it's not gastroparesis, maybe it's not intestinal dysmotility, maybe it's not any of this stuff. Maybe you just have really bad SIBO. Maybe you just have like super bad SIBO. And once you figure out how to fix your SIBO, maybe you'll feel better. Like I still had that fantasy in my mind. And you guys know that because of all the stuff I talked about in the vlogs about wanting to try low FODMAP again and all that stupid stuff. And then the SIBO test was negative. It was like textbook negative. Like there's no way in hell that I could have SIBO. Like it's negative, negative, negative. And I'm sicker than I've ever been and in more pain than I've ever been. And so then it's like another punch in the guts. Like, okay, everything is negative. Every single freaking thing is negative that could be upper GI related is negative. Just negative. SIBO is negative. Angiogram is negative. Gastroparesis is negative. Everything test-wise is negative. So we have no answers. And like I said, even if we had answers, like even if we had a test that said I have gastroparesis, that's not a root cause answer. That gives us so little information. Like all it says is that food sits in my stomach too long, but it doesn't say, it doesn't say what part of the stomach function isn't working. It doesn't say what caused that. Like we don't know. We don't know anything. It's just very irritating. I'm just rambling, but I just don't know what to do besides to force myself to drink water and to force myself to drink nutrition shakes and to wait for this thing in April. That's literally all I can do and just try to get through this pain. But I love you guys and I see all your comments and I try to reply to every single comment in a timely manner. Sometimes I have a really bad day and I can't, but I try to. And we've built sort of like a little community of a lot of us. Like a lot of people are still mysteries like me and deal with what I'm dealing with, all this pain, all this uncertainty. And a lot of people are diagnosed and are still suffering so much and are still dealing with, doctors not believing them or doctors not helping them. And it's so irritating that all of us are suffering. And I don't know. I'm with you. I'm here with you, suffering with you. And this video, like there's positive things to say, but not a lot of positive emotion from me because even if the nausea is lower, the pain is so much higher and so much more constant that it doesn't make a difference because chronic pain is so awful. It's so awful because you never get out of it. Every night I go to bed and I know I'm going to wake up and it's going to be the exact same. It's so disheartening, so hard. Like you cannot understand the mental and physical toll of chronic pain until you've been in it. You can hear about it all day long. Until you've been in chronic pain, you can't understand it. And I'm not saying that to sound like, oh, I understand something so much more deeply. No, it's like I have had this pain, or I feel like I'm grabbing my breast, but like it's just like right here. I've had this pain. And I think my boobs look bigger because I think my like boobs have shrunk and my bra is just too big, so it's like all weird. Anyway, boob conversation aside. So trying to think how to say this. When your pain waxes and wanes, like I had some level of this pain all day, every day since November, but there were days when it waned so much that it was just so faint, that I barely noticed it. And even though technically I guess that's chronic pain, it's not at all the same. It's not at all the same as when the pain is like at a 7 or an 8 all day, and it doesn't wax and wane. It's just there. All day. 7 or 8's probably high. Robert will tell me it's too high because I'm like functional, so I should say like something lower. I don't know how pain ratings work, but like when it's at not its highest, but like edging up towards highest level, 24/7, not waxing and waning. That's a totally different beast. It's a totally different animal. It's a totally different experience. And you can't understand it until you're in it. You can't, when your pain is that high 24/7, it's a totally different mental and physical beast. It's night and day to when your pain waxes and wanes. And that's where I am right now, where my pain is up here. It's also hard to rate pain appropriately when you've been in pain for this long because you have to build a tolerance to a certain extent. Like this level of pain used to be me laying in bed and not moving all day. And now this level of pain is like me talking and moving around and having to drive to work and do work because I've had to build a tolerance to it. So it's it's like, you know, this is the level of pain that I used to like leave work for. And now this is the level of pain that I'm at all day. And I just go to work in this pain. So it's very different. But yeah, I'm just rambling. But chronic pain is so different when it stays intense all day as opposed to when it waxes and wanes. And that's something that I didn't understand until I was here. Like, I'm used, because when you have pain that's only after eating, then it's like you have those few hours of pain and then it gets better, then you eat again and it gets worse. But this is just constant, you know, so that it's a totally different beast, totally different. And I just want to emphasize that because I think it's important and I didn't understand it until I felt it. And I want to get that information out there to people who haven't experienced chronic pain, that if someone tells you they're at like high level all day, then that's something totally different and it sucks. And it's a totally different mental, I could curse, but anyway, I'm not sure I'm gonna get another video because I don't know when I'm gonna vlog again because I'm really not feeling well. I'll try to make something every week. Maybe it'll just be me sitting here and talking. Maybe that'll be what it is. I'll try to keep you guys updated, but anything that's more labor intensive than this video wise, I definitely can't make right now. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching.